Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hold on.
Get it?
Let me get comfortable, Miss Clarkson. I've been wanting to get on this couch.
Yes.
I watch it all the time. I'm a fan of the show. I wondered how I would fit. I think it's perfect.
It's perfect. You're a perfect fit. So thank you again for singing with me. I know that song, we were talking about it earlier together, and it's just such an important message. I think that a lot of people are gonna relate to when they hear it. And so obviously you were not feeling okay, but is it easy for you to be that kind of vulnerable? And get it out there?
First of all, thanks for singing with me. You're always so humble to everybody. And what you don't know is when we get these calls, we are all like little kids at Christmas. We're like, Kelly Clarkson wants to sing our song.
Thank you for letting me.
No, I'm serious. And that's how we all feel. Everybody I talk to, we all get that excited, childlike. I think vulnerability is kind of my superpower.
Yeah.
I was a typical angry, alpha, always aggressive kind of guy for a long time, and I was just almost had a mean spirit about me, and it didn't serve me no good. I didn't have any emotions. I was just very flat with everybody in life, and man, my heart changed, man. I got a relationship with God. I had a child. I got married to a woman that's just the greatest woman on earth, and immediately it softened my heart, and vulnerability is my superpower.
You grew up. Wow. That's a beautiful story. I know you just walked right over it, but that's so beautiful to go like 180.
Oh yeah, complete flip. Everybody's like, you're the sweetest guy ever. I'm like, I'm glad you didn't know me in the early 2000s.
Yeah. But you know what? I think that's an important message because I think a lot of people don't believe in change. And I think that it is very real. If somebody wants to, I think that it is a very real thing that can happen. I think that's a beautiful testament, almost more so than your music. Like that's a great thing to spread the word because a lot of people feel stuck probably and that they've done so many things or they've been their way so long that they can't foresee change, you know? So I think that's really powerful. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And I think it also signals to people that you can do it at any age.
Absolutely.
As well as that, I always talk about when I won the CMA, every time when you announce me, he's nominated for a Grammy, I'm like, that was me. Like, he won a CMA. I was like, that was me.
Yeah.
But I was the second oldest artist ever to even be nominated for that award, for the Grammys and for the CMAs. So to win one also shows that if you're 33 years old and you're thinking about picking up the guitar, man, it's not too late, man. Have fun.
Exactly, have fun is the truth. So this is amazing, but one of your biggest fans is Dwayne Johnson, which why not?
What?
But I am just like, that's crazy. And you guys like text, and this was like even before I think you like really blew up. Like he's been a fan for a minute.
He was a fan when I wasn't worth being a fan of. That is for sure. He has been such a sweet soul. I'll never forget somebody had told me, hey, Dwayne Johnson's people have reached out. They just want to make sure you're okay with him posting a song of yours. And I was like, you're talking about like, I thought I was like, there's a lawyer in Nashville named Dwayne Johnson too. and I was like, no way. Yeah. So I was like a kid. Every day I would wake up and get on my Instagram and I would type in The Rock. And I would go to his Instagram to see if he posted it. And one day he did. He posted a song and I reached out and said, hey, thank you for posting my song. I was just being, any typical fan shooting my shot. I had a chance, I slid.
Yeah.
And he immediately responded, and I can give you moments of my career that I'll never forget. The day that they invited me to the Grand Ole Opry, you know how special that is. First message on my phone, Dwayne Johnson. And listen, he's such a personal man.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind me sharing. I hope I'm not oversharing. He's gonna be like, we're not friends anymore. But
he loves country music too.
He loves country music, but he's such a personal guy that he won't text you. He sends you voice notes or videos. Oh. He's very, very, very personal with it. So it's not only am I hearing, like, because I would read a Dwayne Johnson text message in Dwayne Johnson's voice for sure, here anyways, but to hear it, I'm like, this is crazy. And he's just been one of the sweetest souls, man. I've told him this, but he encouraged me at a time when I really wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And he don't even know that he encouraged me. He just, by him being a fan, I was like, if one of the greatest personalities of this generation, one of the greatest actors and entertainers, if he sees something in this music, maybe I'm onto something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if he sees little
Well, congratulations, you are.
Thank you.
You're crushing it. I'm gonna come back to vulnerability and how open you are because I think it's so important, especially when we have this spotlight. I think it's a very important thing. But you've had to work to overcome mental health issues and addiction, and you say these things started pretty early on for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. How did you do that? How did you work through that?
Well, it takes a lot of work, one, and I think one of the biggest things was I started being honest and being more vulnerable. And the first step was And I know it's going to sound like a promotion for a song, but it was actually saying, maybe it's okay that I'm not okay sometimes. Like, I think that we live in this world that it's like, we got to be okay all the time, and we see snapshots of reels of people just doing incredible in life in our feeds all the time. And we feel like maybe something's wrong with us if we tell somebody, hey man, I don't feel okay today, or something's just not clicking right.
Yeah.
And I just started being honest about that, because the songs I were writing were screaming for help anyways, you know? And finally they were like, you're such a jovial guy. I was like, no, but I'm the guy from the song more than the guy here.
Yeah.
And I just started being honest, man. Therapy, and I hate to sound like a cliche, but I started working on the cliche stuff they would say immediately, just getting out in the sun, started focusing on losing weight. Cutting out alcohol, just focusing, just these things, but doing a lot of therapy work. A lot of what I put in my body changed too, not just with the weight loss, because I've been losing a ton of weight. I'm at like probably almost 100 pounds this year.
Damn, congratulations, that's hard. Yeah, congratulations.
I realized that it wasn't just what I was putting in my body food-wise that was killing me. It was what I was listening to and what I was watching and where I was allowing my thoughts to sit and live. Because if I allow myself to sit in here for too long, it never works in my favor.
I don't think in anyone's.
Yeah, for sure. If I
We
just
get in
sit
our
here,
own way.
Yeah, if I start spinning and spiraling, it's just not a good place to be. So
Yeah.
I started being more honest and more vulnerable, and I started crying, and now I just can't quit. Now I just cry all the time, you know. And
So touched. Yeah, I
it's
cry
just,
all the time.
Yeah, now I'm like, now when I pray, I'm like, God, I ask you to soften my heart. Can we get a little tough again?
Yeah.
A little toughen up wouldn't hurt, you know.
Yeah, oh my God. No, I love it. Crying, by the way, crying feels good.
Oh, man.
Like that release, I think we've, you know, and it's interesting that you said this. I'm going to come back to this because my son, this was like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, but he was just like, we were going to bed and I was like, how you doing, buddy? You seem kind of sad. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm happy right now. And I said, oh, okay. I was like, well, hey, here's something. You're not going to be happy all the time, and that's okay. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to, for whatever reason, you're allowed to not know what it is.
Yes.
And
Good mom.
yeah,
Good mom.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Good mom.
But it's true though what you said. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah,
it's
and also,
okay.
you just in that moment sitting with them and going, hey, let's talk through this emotion.
Yeah.
You know, actually giving a child a voice to look at you and go, I think I'm sad.
Oh,
like, what a great way to decipher it. I didn't realize I was 34 before I could look at my wife and go, I think I'm sad today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. Yeah.
No, that I do like how it's gotten more progressive now that we know better, you know, with our kiddos. But you have a new program with a judge who once actually sentenced you. So talk about that.
Yeah, it's Jim Todd is working to open up something in the Dinkins house. It's really cool, man. Jim Todd was the district attorney whenever I was a juvenile and I was charged as an adult for a really heinous crime.
Yeah.
But because of that, the felony stuck with me my whole life. It's kind of been it's been a big part of my story. And he went on to be a lawyer later and now a judge. And now that he's in the judge's seat, he is determined to make a change in at-risk youth and kids that are getting in trouble that are under the age of 18 and just really getting hands-on. And I think it's such a testament to, one, redemption in my story, but most importantly, I think there's a big spotlight on him and coming back around and going, okay, I've been in this system now for 20-something, 30 years. I've seen where it's wrong, and I know what we can do to start helping these kids, and let's fix it at a grassroots level, and let's treat these children like they're children, and that, because when you're that age, this is a product of what's happening around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's how can we create better situations for some of these kids? And I'm just honored to be a part of it, man. I just want everything I do to represent redemption and just hopefully encourage people somewhere that they can change too. And being able to get with this. Also, listen, I'll share this with you. I've never said this out loud, but one of the things I'm most proud of in my change, Ms. Clarkson, is that I have changed my relationship with the law. How I look at judges and how I look at police and how I look at people and first responders. I used to look at everybody as enemies. You know, because I was such a bad person, they were my enemy. They were the good guys, I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And now to know that, you know, you could have never, 20 years ago, telling me that me and Jim Todd would be friends and opening a center together to help at-risk youth, I would have laughed at you. And now I cry thinking about it. It's really cool.
See, once again, man, that's the best testimony. So let's talk about your new album. It's called Beautifully Broken. Great title.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
How did you come up with it? And great, look at that. I love the imagery as well. Yeah.
It's it's beautiful. I think that we're all a little broken, but that doesn't mean we're not beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's just kind of it's going back to it's on brand for just who I am as a human. I'm consistent in my message, is that it's okay to not always be okay, but we're going to be all right. is that we're all a little broken, but we're beautiful. I believe it's kintsugi's what it's called. The album artwork is kind of from the Japanese tradition that if you break something and it's worth saving, when they put it back together, they put gold in it.
Yes.
So if it's worth saving, you put a little extra polish on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I think we're all worth saving.
Comes back around to all those kids you're talking about. Put a little gold in there. You know what I'm saying? With them, that's beautiful. Yeah. How's tour going?
Oh,
you love it?
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'm having so much fun on tour.
Yeah.
We're doing a ball. I still tour rock and roll style, so we do 4.5 to 5 shows a week is how it averages. I know someone's like, how is it 4.5? But over the course of whatever the amount of weeks, so I'm not a math guy.
Oh, I thought you were
but
just like,
told,
some shows I'm just like, you know what, I'm done.
No. I've been told that over the course of 11 or 12 weeks, it's 4.5 shows a week. And I like it that way. I love rock and roll style touring, man. I think it's a machine. I am like a little carny kid anyways. Yeah. I feel like I joined the circus and found a home. Yeah. I was kind of a troubled juvenile. I went to a couple of juvenile facilities and was incarcerated in a couple of group homes. Yeah. And there's this beautiful feeling about a group home, like when we would walk into places and nobody would wonder why we were together. It felt like a carnival. Yeah. And that's what tour is. Anytime we walk into a Denny's, they're like, what would put this group of people together?
I love a Denny's.
And then I walk in and they're like, oh, we get it now. It's really cool.
I love a Denny's or a mall. There's like nothing to do in certain towns.
The only thing better is a Waffle House.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Goodness gracious.
Covered, smothered, and all the,
The closest one to New York is Philadelphia. I almost drove last week.
Oh, it's so good. It's so bad for my ass, but it's so good. Well, before we go, talk to me about Stagecoach, because you were at Stagecoach. Is this true? You were there one year, and then you were like, you had a dream
that
you were going to come back and you were going to headline?
I couldn't sleep. They would keep picking on me on the internet because I said I couldn't sleep. I was having a dream, but that's, to me, real dreams happen when you're awake. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was laying down and I could not sleep because I just kept going, I think I'm going to headline this thing one day. And I never feel that way. I could just feel the energy coming. The night before even. I was like, man, I think we're going to headline this. And when I walked on that stage and that stage was vibrating, you know that feeling.
Yes,
I know it.
I perform barefoot a lot because I want to feel it more.
It's different when that stage vibrates. Yeah. It's a different feeling. And I was like, I'm going to headline this thing. Yeah. Sure enough, I'm coming back to headline, y'all. Meet me down there.
So cool, man. Such a great life, such a great story. Let's take another short break. Jelly Roll's album is called Beautifully Broken. It's out now. And don't forget to go online for tickets to his Beautifully Broken tour, as well as Stagecoach, which he's headlining in 2025.